Broncos country, what's poppin'? It's your boy Mark here with Marky Sports. The draft is behind us. The undrafted free agents are signed. The free agency period is behind us as well. And we are on to the offseason program. And obviously, we know between now and week one, there's going to be a ton of changes on the roster. Ain't no doubt about it. But as it stands right now, there's a player on the roster currently that I think could be the biggest, most important X factor when it comes to the success of the Broncos running game. Or shall I say, his development is the biggest X factor for the success of the Denver Broncos offense in 2025. And that person is Audric Estime. And I got a lot of information about him for y'all today, man. We're going to look at some film and we're going to talk about why I feel like his development and the step that he takes from year one to year two is crucial for Bo Nix, for Sean Payton, and for the Denver Broncos as an entire organization. As crazy as that sounds. If you guys love Denver sports, if you love NFL draft content, if you love talking NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, hit the subscribe button, guys. Like the video. Join the ride. I appreciate you all very much in advance. So let's talk about Audric Estime, right? Audric Estime was drafted last year in the 5th round out of Notre Dame. I was pretty excited about him because he's someone that I was like, man, this dude is an absolute unit, strong, powerful runner. Didn't catch the ball a lot in college, but basically caught everything when he came out, and had some surprising wiggle, good burst. Goes to the combine, he runs a 4.71, and everybody like loses their mind and kind of freaks out about his 4.71. But he ends up improving upon that. I think he ran like a 4.55 at his pro day. But listen, none of that matters because we know how the pro day is kind of BS. The more important thing is he had a 1.58 split, which is actually very good. Like, it's actually a really, really good number, especially for a back that size. In fact, his 10-yard split was faster than Troy Franklin's, which is crazy. So he's not a long speed type of a guy, but he can get from stopped to full speed very quickly. And that's the most important trait for running backs. And surprisingly, you see that a lot on the film from last year with the Broncos. I saw it when I looked at him in Notre Dame after we drafted him last year. But you see it a lot last year for the Broncos. And I get he was in the doghouse. A lot of people, the last memory we have of Audric Estime is he was benched in the playoff game versus the Bills. I get that. But it's a new season. Sean Payton talks about it's a new season. It's a clean slate for everyone. And I believe him when he says that. And if that's the case, Audric Estime is going to have the first crack at being a big time, like the starting running back or like one of the main running backs of a part of our committee. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more I really love the RJ Harvey, Audric Estime backfield. I think it's something that could work really well. Now, we're obviously depending on a lot of factors. We're depending on the development of players, right? Specifically Audric Estime. And we're depending that someone like RJ Harvey is going to come in as a rookie and be ready to go. Here's the thing about Audric where he really needs to improve. And I think he will. He's going to need to make big strides in his development. Number one, and most importantly, no doubt about it, pass protection, right? He didn't do a lot of it. In fact, I went through every single snap and he only had 2 plays where he actually pass blocked, 2 of them. And they were fine. It wasn't like a free blitzer or anything. It was more like chipping. So he wasn't asked to do it a lot in the pros. Don't really know, to be completely honest, how much he did it in college. But when you're 5'11", right, 227 pounds. He was 221 at the combine. He's like 230 now. He's an absolute unit. Long arms, big hands. You have the frame to be a very good pass protector. And let's not forget, Javonte Williams wasn't a good pass protector or known to be a pass pro guy until later in his career, like after the injury. And then he started doing it more and they realized, oh, damn, he's really good at it. But we had Melvin Gordon all those years for a reason because we needed someone to be able to pass protect. And then we ended up bringing in Samaje Perine for that reason until they realized, oh, we don't need him. So that's where he needs to make his biggest strides because him as a runner, I think he's more than adequate. I think he's actually very good. Another thing, so he gets drafted, he gets his opportunity week 1, fumbles on like his first or his second carry, leaping over a guy. And then on his first carry, he fumbles. Second carry, he ends up injuring his knee. He goes on IR for 4 weeks. That's a little bit of an annoying setback. Comes back, starts to get worked back into the lineup here and there, gets a few touches a game. Fumbles against the Saints where he was having a good game. That basically put him in the doghouse for a while. And And then he was like unleashed on the last drive versus the Chiefs when we were down and we needed to go down and get a field goal. It was him, which was a little bit weird, but he performed super well, I thought. The big thing that I noticed too is that a lot of times he was really running hesitant. He wasn't running free last year because obviously the 2 fumbles, he realizes that his opportunities are going to be limited and he cannot put the ball on the turf. So it was very much in his head. And ball security is something that you can just get better at. I'm not overly worried about it. And I think he will. So if he just shows that he can hold on to the ball and not let it be in his head and he can play a little bit more free, I think he's somebody that's ready to launch and have a really productive season for the Broncos. Let's also not forget the dude was 20 years old when he was drafted. He's still only 21. He's 3 years younger than RJ Harvey, who we just drafted. So he's a raw player. That's a lot, going into the league for a 20-year-old at any position is a lot. And so I think a year of experience, just getting his mind right, a good full off-season program for him to get his body where he wants for it to be. Maybe he gets a little bit faster. I don't know. Maybe he gets even stronger than he is. Could do him a lot of good things. But I'm excited to see Audric Estime, and I want to dive into the film and kind of talk a little bit about what it is that I've been seeing with him. So we're going to let the play run, and then we're going to break it down. Now, I'm going to preface, guys, by saying I'm not saying that he's going to like set the league on fire or be this 1,500-yard runner. I'm just saying as a pure running back, he was probably the most effective one that we had last year, in my opinion. I like Jaleel's running style because I thought he was explosive. But what's nice about Audric and what you'll see with him is that he doesn't take a lot of negative plays. And he does a really good job of just maximizing his runs whenever he gets a chance to. So I'll give you guys some examples of that. But let's go ahead and start with this Chargers game. This is on a kind of a wide zone concept where he seems actually a lot more comfortable in. And you'll be able to see this. So let's break this down. This is a good mix of like seeing his patience, his ability to put his foot in the dirt and burst, and then his lateral agility as well is on display. And all of those I think look really good. So he takes the toss from Bo, patient with the vision, starts to cut back, foot in the dirt, one cut back, another one, breaks some tackles, gets upfield. I mean, nothing wrong with that. You got to love it. And we know how bad it was last year in Broncos country, man. So that's to me a very positive run. Here's another couple versus the Saints. So, and when I had first watched this, I was like, oh, that's really bad vision by Audric. But then I watched it several times again, and I realized that it was a root beer Nate Atkins coming across the formation, blocking number 6. All right. So Nate Atkins is there, and he kind of gets pushed back a little bit. You can tell Audric Estime was wanting to go around his shoulder, but he gets blocked a little bit. So he gets low and basically shifts to his right to dodge number 31, gets skinny, keeps his balance, gets upfield. I love it, man. I think that's a really solid run. Here's another example. And this one was one of my more favorite ones. And I saw this quite a bit on some of his runs. And I don't even know if this is a scouting term or not. But I noticed that he has what I would call to be very good second level vision. So he's not always so worried about where are his linemen. He's looking at the linebackers, the safeties behind him. And this is actually a really good example of that you'll be able to see. So keep your eye on number, I think it's 26 with the dreads at the top of the screen. So Audric gets the ball, and now, or it's 56. This is Demario Davis here. So Audric right here he can go to the right or he can go to the left. Both of those are there. The offensive line did a great job just moving everybody over. So he has 2 holes. His responsibility here is to beat one guy, and that's Demario Davis, or make a move on him. And so he kind of uses the leverage from the blocker to make his move before. So you can see he starts to juke before he even gets to the lineman. Right here, he kind of hesitates, fakes it right, comes back out left, gets his foot in the dirt, and goes upfield. Turns that into a decent yardage. He knows he's not going to be this burner. He's not going to take this to the crib, but he's like, let me maximize and get what I can. And I love that. And he finishes the run super well. Here's another one. And I love how he finishes. That powerful finish is always good. I mean, you'll see that consistently pretty much with every run. But let's watch this back. So Right when he gets it, right, there's not too much there, right? Like you can say he wants to go to the left of Powers, but I think it's Bowles right there. He kind of loses contain on that block a little bit to go double team the other guy. So he realizes, oh, I'm sorry, opposite. Let's try this again. So it's actually Forsyth. So you see Forsyth here, number 54. He locks in there. Miners is actually the one that misses this block. Sorry, guys. So keep your eye on number 77. He actually goes and he loses leverage there and gets beat by the defensive lineman. Estimé realizes that. Vision goes left. Foot in the dirt, cuts back, breaks a couple tackles, and finishes strong. So really good vision. His vision is actually, for the most part, from what I've seen, very, very good. Ironically, his longest run of the year versus Baltimore, which went for 21 yards, was probably his worst actual run. Like his vision was really bad. And we'll get into that. I think it's the next clip. But I love this man. He realizes right away, he gets blocked, makes a move, doesn't hesitate, and just goes and finishes it strong. This is the one that I was talking about versus Baltimore. So I'll let it run. And you guys will see what I mean by terrible vision. And when I saw this in real life, I remember it like it was yesterday. We were down like 41-10. We were getting smoked. And at that point, I was like, all right, let's just get good reps for these young guys. So when I saw Estimé make this run, I was like, hell yeah. Like, good shit, man. I love that power. I hope that spurred him more opportunities. Then you watch it on film and you realize it was actually a lot more negative, and it was super bad tackling by the defense. And I'll explain to you why, because he should have definitely gotten tackled. But so look at this. The blocking is there. He's taking the out of shotgun. This is a very simple, just, go to the right of Burton, to the left of Troutman, and hit the hole. He decides he wants to run right in to the lineman, but due to poor tackling, he kept his legs moving, to his credit, keeps running. They thought he had him wrapped up. They didn't. He ends up getting 21. So ironically, his longest run was his worst run, in my opinion, that I watched of all of them, to be honest with you. But overall, vision is really solid. Here's another example of that. Again, we'll go back here, and we'll pause it right when he gets the ball. Right, you can see his vision. The run, I believe, is designed to go outside. It's designed to go right off the hip of number 20, Michael Burton there. He goes off there and then boom, makes a move, cuts upfield, maximizes the carries, maximizes the yards. I love it. And this one, ironically, was probably my favorite run of all of them. And it was like for 4 yards. But I love this because this is very realistic in the NFL. These are the kind of runs that good NFL backs can consistently do. They can maximize everything that they have. So I'll let it run and we'll break it down for y'all here. So you can see that when he gets the ball, right, the blocking, everything, all the gap. I mean, Baltimore's playing the run entirely. And you can see, even though no one fails on their block, there's not really much running room for him, right? He notices at the end, he's got a little bit there to the right, but instead of just running straight and not getting really any yards, he gets back to the line of scrimmage, gets skinny here, puts his back towards him, and just says, you know what, let me get all the runs that I can. And he turns it into a 4-yard gain. I like those kind of runs. Like I said, they're going to be, nobody's ever going to be talking about them. They're not going to be super flashy, but it was missing a lot. There was so many times last year, Javonte Williams would get the ball and he looks extremely slow. He runs into the back of his lineman and he's swallowed up for -3 yards. And then we're 2nd and 13. And now the offense is in a pickle, right? It's like basically series over at that point, even though those, to Bo's credit, there was a lot of times where we got out of that, but it's very frustrating. If you can get the ball on 1st and 1, give it to Estimé and feel confident that he's going to get you at least 2 to 4 yards, that's a win. And you see a lot of that. But what I was most impressed about is he's pretty shifty for a guy his size. Like you watch it in full speed, he's got some moves. His vision is very good, in my opinion, and he's got the ability to hit top speed pretty quickly. Like I said, is he going to break off a 70-yard run, take it to the house? No. But he's going to be able to churn a lot. And then you mix in RJ Harvey and his ability to take it to the house and run with power and really be explosive. I like the combination that these two guys have. I tried to pull some pass pro reps from him, and to be completely honest with you, he only had 2 all year, like 2 actual pass protection per PFF as well. One in the Carolina game, one in the Colts game, and it wasn't really full on just like him picking up a blitz. It was like more chipping and all that. He did fine, but that's where I'm going to be the most uh, curious to watch what type of step Estime makes, because if he can become a solid pass protector, he's going to play a lot in this offense. And him as a pure runner, I'm really not concerned about. Just hold on to the football, man, and he's going to be a beast. Let me know, man, how you guys feeling about Audric Estime? I'm not trying to sit there and convince myself like, oh, he's going to be the solution, because we kind of have no choice. I think we're probably going to sign or trade for a veteran or two in the running back room. But I'm excited to watch Audric, man. If you like powerful running backs that just run violent and, make the most out of their runs, I feel like this is the kind of running back that he can be. So let me know y'all thoughts below, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll have a wonderful day. And until the next video, peace out.